Alright, hello everyone. Ang lecture natin ngayon under ng IO Psychology. Shout out sa mga IO Psych students ko dyan. Panoorin nyo to kasi kasama to sa exam. We will talk about meaning making as stress management in the workplace. Paano ba ina-apply itong meaning making para mas maging kontrolado natin yung mga stress natin habang nagtatrabaho? So God's word muna tayo sa Romans 8. I consider that our present sufferings are not comparable to the glory that will be revealed in us. And then from Romans, tatalon tayo sa James, chapter 1. Consider it pure joy, tuwing kailan daw, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Iko-connect natin yung mga nakasulat na yan, yung mga passages na yan, dito sa topic natin on meaning making as stress management in the workplace. This is the framework that I want to reinforce in this lecture. Kapag nag-a-apply ka ng spirituality sa buhay mo, nagkakaroon ka ng ability to create meaning/purpose in your stresses na magpapababa ng stress levels mo. Kaya kung gusto mong matuto paano i-handle ng maayos yung mga stress mo sa trabaho, anong dapat mong gawin? Applyan mo ng meaning at ng purpose. Later as I go along, I'm gonna teach you kung paano ba yan ginagawa. Let's first talk about stress in general. If you read the literature on stress, which is ang dami, it's a very busy area of research, maraming forms, maraming kinds of stress. Siyempre, as students, anong tawag sa mga stress nyo? Ang tawag dyan, academic stress. Na-stress ka sa exam, na-stress ka sa teacher mong masungit, na-stress ka sa groupmates mong hindi nagpaparamdam, bukas na yung deadline ng group work nyo. Lahat yan, combine mo, anong tawag doon? Academic stress. But since this is IO Psychology, ang pag-uusapan natin is occupational stress. Ito yung stress na na-experience ng isang empleyado in the workplace. Na-i-stress yung jeepney driver, na-i-stress yung mga teachers nyo, na-i-stress yung CEO ng organization, na-i-stress yung accountant, kasi pinupush na siya ng CEO niya, nasaan na yung report. Lahat yon, anong tawag? Occupational stress. So iba yung literature on academic stress, iba pa yung occupational stress, but of course in this lecture, dahil IO Psych tayo, we focus more on occupational stress. Pero ano ba muna yung stress? Sabi ng APA, online dictionary, ito raw yung stress. You can just pause the video if you need to. Tapos basahin ninyo, the first thing I want you to know about stress, it is an emotional state. Nararamdaman yan. So when somebody asks you, how are you feeling today? One valid answer is, I feel stress. Yon, tama yung sagot na yon. Kasi nga, it is an emotional state. It is a feeling. And it is unpleasant. Hindi masarap sa feeling yan, ang ma-stress. Don't you agree? Hindi mo pagpipray kay Lord everyday, Lord, sana today, stressin mo ako all day long. Hindi. It is very unpleasant. In fact, because it's unpleasant, lumalabas yan sa katawan natin, no? Nagmamanifest. For example, sa muka. Halatang-halata mo na yung isang tao na i-stress, hindi pleasant yung mukha niya, something like this. Or nagpapakita rin yan sa overall demeanor ng katawan natin, nagiging ganyan tayo. Tumutupi tayo sa stress. Yan, as you can see here, this employee, may nabasa siyang email. Siguro, nakaka-stress yung nabasa niya, kaya naging ganyan yung itsura niya. Tuwing kailan natin na-experience yung stress, hindi naman kasi porket may challenge, automatic na i-stress tayo eh. There is a specific situation where people will feel stress. Nangyayari yan according to the literature when the demand is greater than capability. Mas mataas yung challenge kumpara sa kakayanan mong malagpasan yung challenge. Diyan ka makaka-experience ng stress. Dito na ngayon papasok yung very popular framework na ginawa ni Hans Selye, asawa ni Mrs. Selye. Kilala nating lahat yan. So according to Hans Selye, makakasense ka ron ng challenge. Ito yung alarm stage. Hindi ka naman kaagad mai-stress kapag may challenge kang na-sense. I-meet head-on mo yung challenge. Lalabanan mo yung challenge. Yun na yung resistance stage. You cope with the stressor, sabi dyan. Gagamitin mo na yung pera mo, gagamitin mo na yung talino mo, gagamitin mo na yung skills mo and other resources para mawala yung stress. Pero hindi ka pa stress dito, hindi pa stress ang tawag sa iyo dyan. Lumalaban ka pa dyan. Kailan ka lang hahantong na mafe-feel mo na yung stress? Doon na sa phase 3. Exhaustion stage. Ito na yung panahon na ubos na yung resources na ginagamit mo to fight against stress. Ubos na pera mo, ubos na pasensya mo, ubos na talino mo, hindi mo na alam anong gagawin mo, pero nandyan pa yung stressor. Got that? Exhausted ka na, pero nandyan pa yung stressor, dyan ka ngayon makaka-experience ng stress. Ibig sabihin, hindi sapat, hindi enough itong mga resources mo para ma-overcome mo yung demand ng isang situation. Dyan ka may stress. Let me give you some examples no, kung kailan nangyayari yan para sa mga estudyante when you take exams. Marami mag-a-agree dyan, di ba? Nai-stress kayo kapag nag-e-exam, pero hindi naman lahat ng students nai-stress kapag exam. But for those of you who are nai-stress sa exam, bakit kayo nai-stress sa exam? Kasi mas maraming tanong kumpara sa alam mong sagot. Anong demand? Sagutin mo yung 100 questions ng tama para makapasa ka. Yung capability mo, dahil konti lang inaral mo, ang alam mo lang sagot, 3. So, kulang ka pa ng 97 na knowledge para mapasa mo yung exam. So, in that situation, ano mangyayari? May stress ka sa pag-take ng exam. 'Di ba? Mataas yung demand, 100 questions, ang alam mo lang sagot, 3. Stressful talaga yan. Pero kung baliktarin mo yan, mas marami kang alam na sagot kumpara sa tanong. Yung tanong 100, yung alam mong sagot 1 million. Wala kang ka-stress-stress dyan. 'Di ba? Sisipol-sipol ka lang dyan. Tataas ka ng kamay, tatanong mo teacher mo kung pwede ka na bang umalis after. 'Di ba? Sitting pretty. Got that? Another example, yung breakup. Bakit ba ang breakup stressful? For those of you na may ganyang experience, ano ba yung demand? Kapag wala na kayo ng jowa mo, ang demand dyan is ituloy mo yung buhay mo na wala na siya. Yan yung demand. Pero ang kaya mo lang is 1 oras lang na wala siya. 'Di ba? Dahil wala na kayo, ituloy mo yung buhay mo na wala ng text, wala ng tawag, wala ng hug, wala ng kiss, wala ng lakwatsa, wala ng akyat sa Tagaytay, iinom sa Starbucks na nasa bangin. Wala na lahat yun. Gustong-gusto mo yun. Nag-e-enjoy ka doon. Feel mo, love na love ka ng ex ng jowa mo. Wala na nga kayo. So, ituloy mo yung buhay mo na wala na siya. That's a demand. Ang kaya mo lang 1 oras lang. After 1 hour, wala na. You're losing your mind. Stressful. Kaya isa sa mga stressful events sa buhay ng tao, moving on from a relationship. Kasi usually, it is during those times na we fall short of our capability to overcome the demand. So, bakit natin pinag-uusapan yung stress in IO psychology? Kasi issue yan, it lowers down efficiency. Yan nga yung point ng IO psych, di ba? We apply psychological principles para mataas ang efficiency ng mga empleyado. Ang problema, they are showing all this in the workplace. Absenteeism, alcoholism, apathy, job dissatisfaction. These things lower down efficiency. These are negative variables in IO psychology. Ayaw mong magpapakita yung mga empleyado ng mga yan, mga negative markers yan. Bakit sila nagpapakita ng mga negative markers na yan? Kasi nga, isang possibility, mataas ang level of stress. So in the perspective of an IO psychologist, you don't like these variables to happen to employees, so what do? You teach them good stress management skills. Huwag mong turuan yung mga empleyado mo na iwasan yung stress because there's no way of doing that. Hindi natin may iwasan yung stress. Huwag kayong maghanap ng trabaho na walang stress because it does not exist. The best we can do as IO psychologists, turuan natin yung mga empleyado paano i-handle ng tama yan. Para hindi sila may stress, masusustain nila yung kanilang work efficiency. Dito na ngayon papasok yung role ng spirituality in doing that. Kapag nag-a-apply ng spirituality yung empleyado, in the process of applying spirituality, nade-develop sa kanila yung paggawa ng meaning/purpose para pampababa ng stress. Again, as I go along, ituturo ko how does that happen. Unahin muna natin yung spirituality. Ano ba yung spirituality? The degree of awareness and closeness to God or other spiritual ideas such as heaven, hell, afterlife, mission, forgiveness, salvation, faith. So, paano mo malalaman kung spiritual ka? Unang-una, maraming instruments, standardized to measure how spiritual you are. Pero yung isang marker dyan, mahilig kang mag-isip ng mga ganyang topics. iniisip mo yung ideas about salvation, heaven, hell, things about God, spiritual ka. Ang kabaliktaran ng spirituality is worldliness. Ibig sabihin, ikaw yung tao na hindi mo to iniisip, ang iniisip mo puro kamunduhan. Kailan darating yung in-order mo sa Shopee? Ano yung mga ilalagay mo sa cart mo sa Lazada? Saan ka kakain mamayang lunch? Saan ka maglalakwatsa this weekend? Paano mo uubusin yung pera mo ngayong holiday? Yan. Kung puro na lang kamunduhan yung iniisip mo, mababa spirituality mo. But of course, in this lecture, ang topic natin, yung mga matataas ang spirituality. Okay? According to studies, those people na mataas ang spirituality, lagi sila nagme-meditate on God's Word, nagbabasa sila ng Bible, ina-apply nila yung mga nababasa nila sa Bible. They are letting God teach them, change their life. Highly spiritual people, ito pala yung isang epekto sa kanila niyan. They see life in God's perspective. They interpret the things that happen to them in the godly perspective. So nag-iiba yung pananaw nila sa mga nangyayari sa mga buhay nila that lowers their stress. Yan yung benefit of spirituality. You see things, you interpret things in the perspective of God. Let me give you some examples. Halimbawa, nagbabasa ka ng Bible, ina-apply mo yung sinasabi ng Bible. Tuwing may stress ka, na-excite ka na ma-overcome mo yung stress mo. Bakit? Kasi ang tinuro ng Bible sa'yo, ganito mo tignan yung mga stress mo sa buhay. Yung mga present sufferings mo, lagpasan mo yan kasi bibigyan ka ng glory ni Lord kapag nalagpasan mo yan. Kapag ganun yung mindset mo, excited kang malampasan yung stress mo kasi meron kang glory that God will give you, mas mamomotivate kang lagpasan yung stress mo. Mas ganado kang lagpasan yung stress mo, which makes you efficient in handling your stress. 'Di ba? Mas motivated ka kasing ma-overcome yung stress mo for this glory that the Bible is talking about. 'Di ba? Mas positive yung attitude mo sa pinagdaraanan mo. Another example, in-apply mo yung sinasabi ng Bible, masaya ka kapag meron kang trials. Kasi alam mo, kapag nalagpasan mo yung trial na yan, meron kang output na makukuha, which is yung perseverance, which is a spiritual resource. Mas titibay ka spiritually. So tuwing may stress kang pinagdaraanan, you look forward. Tinitignan mo. Yung makukuha mo after this, gaganda yung perseverance mo. Mas magiging matibay kang tao. O, 'di ba? Kapag ganyan yung mindset mo habang nag-undergo ka ng stress, ang epekto niyan mas gagaan yung pag-handle mo ng stress. Got that? Actually, itong mga tinuturo dito sa spirituality from the Bible, ina-apply din yan in other fields of knowledge. Bible ang original niyan. Hiniram lang yan ng philosophy. For example, this guy, ang sabi niya, he who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. When you read the Bible and apply its principles, yun yung tinuturo sa'yo. Binibigyan ka ng why. Bakit mo pinagdaraanan tong mga stresses na to? The Bible gives you answers. Why are you undergoing all these stresses? Bakit yung boss mo mahirap pakisamahan? Bakit ang dami-daming trabaho sa opisina na parang kulang na yung oras mo? Kulang na nga sweldo mo, dami pang trabaho. Why? Yun. The Bible teaches you to answer the question why, so that you can bear anyhow, sabi ng isang philosopher. O, di ba? So itong sinasabi niya, tapos sabi pa niya, God is dead, no? Hiniram lang pala niya yan sa Bible. O, even in psychology, di ba? Sabi ng mga psychologists, isa raw sa mga pampaganda ng mental health, if we have meaning in life. That's a very busy area of research, ha. Pinasikat yan ni Viktor Frankl in his book Man's Search for Meaning. Sabi ni Viktor Frankl, kapag nag-undergo ka ng mga struggle sa buhay, kaya mo malagpasan yan kapag binibigyan mo ng meaning kung bakit mo pinagdaraanan yung sufferings mo. Quotable quote, life is never made unbearable by circumstances but only by lack of meaning and purpose. Kaya kung gusto mong ma-overcome yung mga struggles mo, lagyan mo ng meaning and purpose yung struggles mo para ma-sustain mo yung mental health mo. Again, this is a very busy area of research. Ayan, this is one good article to read. Diba? Sense of meaning, literature, ang dami niyan. Pero kung isipin mo, yung sense of meaning na yan, our ability to create meaning in the stressors that we undergo, ang original niyan, Bible. Nauna ang Bible kaysa kay Nietzsche. Nauna ang Bible kaysa kay Frankl. Hinihiram lang ng marami mga fields of knowledge yung mga principles from the Bible. Hiniram lang ng philosophy, hiniram lang ng psychology. Tapos tatawagin lang ng ibang pangalan. Tapos gagawa ng research. Does that make sense? Anyway, now let's talk about how to apply meaning and purpose sa pag-handle ng stress. Let's talk about teacher stress, which is very serious. Kaya yung mga gustong mag-teachers dyan, isa to sa mga dapat paghandaan nyo. Dapat magaling kayong mag-handle ng stress kasi teaching is one of the most stressful jobs there is. Totoo yung mga balita na yan, talagang marami mga teachers na i-stress sobra, hindi nila ma-handle ng maayos, to the point they get depressed, to the point they no longer want to live. So anong pwede natin gawin para tulungan yung mga teachers how to handle stress well? Tuturuan mo sila ng framework na yan. Turuan mo sila ng pataasin yung spirituality nila so that they will learn how to assign meaning and purpose para ma-handle nila yung stress ng maayos. Mas gumaan-gaan naman yung stress that they are undergoing. So let me use myself as an example kung paano to ginagawa tong framework na to, no? So, ito yung mga stress ko as a teacher. I prepare lectures, I compute grades, nagsusupervise ako ng mga estudyante, both thesis group pati practicumers. Nai-stress din ako kapag yung mga estudyante bumabagsak, feeling ko I'm not doing my job well. Minsan habang nagtuturo ko, marami mga students hindi nakikinig, daldalan ng daldalan, nakakadagdag din yan sa stress ko. And number 6 would be the salary. Now don't get me wrong, hindi ko sinasabing I'm not getting enough. I am getting more than enough to support my lifestyle. Hindi ako nagrereklamo dito, hindi ako nagrarant. It's just that I feel, given the amount of salary that I give, kapag ikukumpara ko sa dami ng trabaho, mukhang hindi siya commensurate. Ang lalim ng term, no? Commensurate. You know what it means. Hindi siya tugma. Masyadong maraming trabaho kumpara sa nakukuha kong sweldo. But then again, okay yung sweldo. More than enough. Hindi lang talaga commensurate given sa dami ng trabaho ko. And during that time, kapag nasa-sense ko yan, doon lumalabas yung stress ko. Nagigets nyo? Now, saan natin a-applyan ng meaning and purpose? O eto, mataas na yung spirituality ko. I am a very spiritual person. No? Talagang priority ng buhay ko yan to stay spiritual. So, in those many years na nag-a-apply ako ng spirituality, na-develop na sa akin yung pag-assign ng meaning at ng purpose sa mga struggles ko. So, whenever I feel stressed, ang dami kong trabaho, ito lang nakukuha ko, na-stress ako, applyan ko ng purpose. I go back to my purpose, why I became a teacher in the first place. Nag-teacher ba ako para commensurate yung sweldo sa ginagawa? Hindi naman yun yung point eh. Ang pinaka-purpose ko, bakit ako naging teacher? Because I was called by God. Diba, tinuturo ni Lasallian, no, sa mga teachers. Kapag teacher ka sa isang Lasallian school, it's not an accident that you became a teacher in a Lasallian school. It is God who has called you, who has chosen you for this ministry, who has sent you to work in His vineyard. Ibig sabihin yan, kapag teacher ka, you are called by God, you are chosen by God, you are sent by God to teach the students that He entrusted you. Nagigets nyo? Yan ngayon yung purpose. Yan ngayon yung meaning na ilalagay ko sa pinagdaraanan kong mga stressors. Ginagawa ko to because God called me to do this for the benefit of His kingdom. Nagigets nyo? So yun yung dalawang options ko dito. If I'm gonna stay worldly, kabaliktaran ng spiritual, worldly, focus lang ako sa salary, focus lang ako sa dami ng trabaho ko compared to my salary, stress talaga ako niyan. But those are the times that I forget. Nalimutan ko. Ano ba yung point ko? Yung mind ko bumaba na naman sa worldliness. Nakafocus na naman sa pera. So papalitan ko yan. From money, I focus on something spiritual, the spiritual realm, yung purpose. Dito ako magfo-focus. God called me. God chose me. God sent me. And most importantly, dagdagan ko pa yan, that transcends all these three, God saved me. Naiisip ko yung struggle, yung stress na pinagdaanan of my God, who is Jesus. Ganyan yung itsura niya when He died for me on the cross. Naiisip ko, sinasabi sa akin ni Jesus, Howard, I did this for you because I love you. Can you do this for the kingdom? You see how spiritual that is? Yan yung meaning ko na ina-assign ko dito sa mga stressors ko. And when I think of that, God is talking to me. Sinasabi niya, ginawa ko to para sa'yo because I love you. Can you please do this for the benefit of the kingdom? Ano nangyayari? It does not make sense kung bakit pa ako nai-stress. Mas gumagaan. Oo nga naman, I missed the point. I am undergoing all this. Bakit? Kasi for the benefit of the kingdom. And that's my purpose, to do things for the benefit of my God's kingdom. I am serving Him every day through teaching, although very stressful. Diba? Tapos pasukan mo pa ng mga Bible verse kanina. Anong sabi? Tiisin ko lang yung mga stressors na yan. Kasi kapag yan nalagpasan ko, by also relying on God's resources, I will be given future glory. Yan yung sa Romans 8. Diba? Kapag yung mga stress na yan nalagpasan ko, ano mangyayari sa akin after all this? I will become a better person because I will become more persevering. O, diba? Yan yung ibig sabihin ng pag-apply ng meaning at ng purpose sa mga stressors mo. Binabahiran mo, nilalagyan mo ng mga spiritual meanings. It lowers down, it lightens up the stress that you are undergoing. And I have been doing this the entire time that I'm a teacher. Kaya ano nangyari? Kahit pa ulit-ulit kung na-experience yan, hindi naman ako perfect. Minsan-minsan nai-stress pa rin ako because of this. Yan pa rin yung issue ko. Pero every time I experience this, I just go back to becoming spiritual. Lalagyan ko lang ng spiritual meaning, bumababa yung stress level ko, mas nagiging manageable. Oh, kaya ano na ako ngayon? 18 years and counting, I am still a teacher. Siguro kung hindi ako spiritual, kung hindi ko nilalagyan ng spiritual meaning and purpose yung mga stressors ko, matagal ko nang iniwan yung teaching. Baka bumalik na ako sa show business at pagmomodel. Of course, joke lang yon. Pero yung mga naniwala sa sinabi ko, good job. No? Anyway, I hope you're getting my point. How assigning spiritual meaning to your stressors lightens the stress. One last example. O, ito. Outside myself naman to, ha. Nung UAAP Finals last year, nagtapat yung UP at yung Lasal. At alam naman nating lahat, nanalo yung UP, sila nag-champion. But let's talk about Game 1. Lasal lost to UP. And this is one of the stressful experiences that you can have, lalo na kung athlete ka. Yung matalo ka sa isang team in a championship game. Nakaka-stress yan. But there is this one athlete from Lasal, si Mike Phillips. Nag-assign siya ng spiritual meaning / purpose doon sa stressor na pinagdaraanan nila, which is natalo sila. 'Di ba? Ang sabi niya nung in-interview siya, how is he processing the loss? I'm trying to see where God wants to take us, where and how the veterans can lead the team, and we're just going to give it our all. That's one thing I know for sure. Ayan, may spiritual meaning siya. God has a purpose kung bakit tayo natalo. He continues. I said earlier that both good and bad come from the Lord. The Lord has a plan for us. Yung mga ganyang linya, di ba, spiritual meaning yan eh. Nilalagyan niya ng spiritual meaning yung stressor niya. The first thing I'm doing is to pray. Before I look at any basketball thing, I'm just going to pray. Hopefully, the community will support us like how they supported us today. It's going to be a hard game too, so he's looking forward to game 2. But we're going to give it up to God and try to do our best. Nagigets nyo? Give to God, just do your best, and God will take care of the rest. That's a spiritual meaning. O, diba? Kaya ano nangyari? Kahit na nai-stress siya, na natalo sila sa UP ng Game 1, nilagyan na ng spiritual meaning, ano nangyari? Gumagaan yung stressor. Mas na-handle ng maayos yung stressor because of this meaning-making na mangyayari lang kapag naging spiritual ka. Kaya isa yan sa mga applications na gusto kong i-reinforce today in this lecture. It's very important for any human being. Student ka man, worker ka man, na talagang you work on your spirituality. After all, paulit-ulit ko na sinasabi, we are spiritual beings. We are supposed to handle our stress the spiritual way. Yan ang hirap sa maraming tao ngayon eh. Kaya minsan pumapalya din yung mental health because of stress. We are handling stress the physical way. Kapag nai-stress, anong solution? Something physical. Iinom, magda-drugs, mag-overeating, so on and so forth. Hindi tama. Spiritual beings like us, whenever we are stressed, we are supposed to handle our stress spiritually. Assignan mo ng meaning, assignan mo ng purpose kung bakit ka nag-undergo ng stress na yan. So, anong epekto nun? Again, bababa. Mas magiging maayos ang pag-handle mo ng stress. So, this is a very important psychological skill na dapat alam ng mga empleyado in the workplace. Alright? So, yan lang yung maikli nating lecture for today. Sana marami kayong natutunan. If you know anyone na mataas ang level of stress na sa workplace, i-share nyo tong video na to para makatulong. Alright? Sir Howard here. If you have any questions or comments, ilagay nyo lang dyan sa baba. I'll see you the next lecture. God bless everyone. Bye-bye.